morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the internet world. Welcome to another edition of Golden Independence. Another beautiful day in Bermuda. We call this the Secret Garden. Very wealthy piece of real estate that is Bermuda. So, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. If you're following the money and if you're paying attention, countries have been acquiring cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. And I'm putting this as a public service announcement. Bitcoin is for everyone, for the 8 billion people on the planet. Its very protocol is for decentralization. If governments acquire more than 50% of Bitcoin, it's possible that one day governments could form the one world union through their acquisition of Bitcoin, because they would have enough Bitcoin to control the market and to control Bitcoin. That's how it could be centralized. And we know that governments can print money and put money into the traditional system that we are currently in and operating in. They're doing it by ways and means of, if we were to do this, it will be fraud. But yet they say that Bitcoin is fraud. They say that Bitcoin is for criminals. So why is it that the U.S. government has been seen to be selling Bitcoin to Coinbase? Now that's news. That's being made public. But nobody's making any noise about that. Everybody's just concerned about price. And all of this type of information comes out to test the market at whole. They want to see who's paying attention. They want to see what happens to the market when you release all the information. Yes, we know that Bitcoin is the alpha. And we want the Bitcoin back with us because we created it. Let's just say Bitcoin was a government creation, just like the internet. And they're releasing it at a certain period of time, and now they're trying to centralize all of the Bitcoin. And if you look at my last post in the community section, you'll see that Ukraine has Bitcoin as well. And as it stands, that war is still continuing. But what's also interesting in that meme post, right, was what wasn't posted, and that was Russia. We saw the US, we saw China, but we didn't see Russia. We did not see Russia's holdings. And we know that Russia has mining farms. They have Bitcoin mining farms. And guess what? We don't have to disclose. You don't even have to disclose that you're even mining Bitcoin or that you have it. But one has to say, why is this information coming out? When in the beginning, particularly the United States media was saying that Bitcoin was a Ponzi scheme. And to some extent, that information is still out there, but however, even that is being drowned out. Even that narrative is being drowned out with all of the capitalistic activity that is surrounding the digital asset known as Bitcoin. And with the digital asset known as Bitcoin creating all this attention on a global scale, even with the narrative of it being a Ponzi scheme still out there, that has not gone away. That has not left the internet. It still continues to grow in value. People all over the world start to engage in the protocol, start building on it, start using it in some form or fashion. So consider all those times when we heard crypto exchanges or mining farms being busted, when China was seizing mining farms, and now they're right behind America. They're almost at 200,000, having 200,000 Bitcoin. Ladies and gentlemen, with the countries, they have over 1%. They have about 1% of all the Bitcoin. Now this is too much for any government, anywhere to have. Especially at this rate. So whenever you heard government selling, that is the key for you to take it from them and ensure that governments don't get it. Keep it circulated amongst the people and in decentralized exchanges. And keep note of the market, ladies and gentlemen, because the market in DeFi is growing, because that is where the rest of us are going to be extremely wealthy. We will be able to leverage the wealth that we acquire from cloud mining activity, such as BitHarvest with the BitBooster, where we can mine our Satoshis. We'll be able to move our Satoshis into DeFi projects as leverage, so that we won't even have to spend our Satoshis. We will be the new market makers and getting other tokens that we could liquidate for putting up the amount of Satoshis. Just like how people were made money by being market makers in other platforms. You had to have the Bitcoin, right? You had to have the Bitcoin, and for putting up the amount of Bitcoin, you would receive a certain amount of the value of the other token, i.e. make a DAO. Yeah? Avalanche. Just to name a few. Just to name a few. And the other many other projects out there that are like that or similar. There are going to be many opportunities. It's not just going to be one opportunity in the future. The people who have Satoshis will be the new market makers, especially when it comes to the DeFi space. So any type of cloud mining activity where you can mine Bitcoin or Satoshis, that's a plus. Oh, we got some activity here. Hello, neighbor. The super sleuth just cruising along. Yes, that's a beautiful sight. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The space is being determined by two mindsets: centralized and decentralized. A centralized mindset or a decentralized mindset. So we see that the governments are buying up, they're not just buying up Bitcoin. What they're doing is that they're seizing Bitcoin, because some states have allowed you could use Bitcoin to pay for your taxes. For example, one court allowed for the bail of Bitcoin. One allowed Bitcoin to be used for bail. So if you wanted to get your particular person out on bail, you would have to put up a certain amount of Bitcoin. And this is when Bitcoin was went to $10,000. Went to $10,000 a coin. And when it was fluctuating between 10 and 20. It was in that area, and they were collecting Bitcoin, this US state. So certain states have acquired Bitcoin through those means. So when I see that the US has 200,000, what we gotta consider is that from different states, because remember, the United States at this point is not so united. Different states are being very meticulous and aggressive with their own economy by allowing, because they first allowed gold and silver to be used as payment, right? To be used as payment in stores. They just announced it, even though they could do it already, because it's in their constitution. It's in the U.S. Constitution that gold and silver is already legal tender. But each state, one at a time, specifically the southern states, started to acknowledge that and said, well, just in case, let's start accepting gold and silver for payment. And lo and behold, you started to see, states like Texas and Oklahoma and Arizona open up, businesses opening up, having signs that say we accept gold coins and silver coins at furniture places, at hardware stores, at multiple different places of business. It's just going to be a matter of time before they say that Satoshis are accepted. Where things will be priced in Satoshis. Things are going to be priced in Satoshis, and to those who have been mining Satoshis, it's going to be extremely inexpensive for us when things get valued at the Satoshi level. When items start getting priced in Satoshi, I'm talking about the basic, for your basics. So let's just say if one Satoshi, if we looked at our BitHarvest account, for those who have the BitHarvest account or got the BitBooster and they're all set up and they're mining, you're already mining Satoshis. If you consider how much Satoshis you got from your first mining, from your first day, right? And we say that one Satoshi equals $1. And you're looking at your first mining reward of Satoshis from 4 years ago now. From 4 years ago. So let's just say that one Satoshi goes to $1. Now, when you move that amount of Satoshis, you will be considered, let's just say you'll be considered a market maker. I ain't gotta say the value of it, because those who are already signed up to the platform, you're doing what I'm doing. You're doing what I'm doing. You're grinning. From one transaction. One transaction will changes your life. 4 years from now. 4 years from now, the potential of Bitcoin going to a place where the Satoshis that we have mined from 4 years from now will be, you're not just gonna change your life. You're not just gonna change your life, you're gonna change everybody's life around you, whether they like it or not. Anyone who knows you who has hurt, you're gonna affect them in some sort of way. And you're gonna affect them so major. But to you, it would be like basic common sense to do it because you'll have it. But to them, it will be the world. Because sometimes people don't need $5 million. Sometimes people just need $500. An extra $500 will get them out of the fire. And people are struggling. Even on this island, people are struggling. Right now, somebody's working. And somebody's working somebody else's dream right now as we speak. As we speak, while I'm here enjoying time, freedom, right? Somebody the same place as me does not have that freedom. They're pushing somebody else's dream. Don't know about Bitcoin. This is the proof right here. This is the proof. They don't even know. And guess what? I'm at the point where I'm afraid to tell them. I'm afraid to tell people because it's better that they don't know. When it comes to Bitcoin, it's better that you don't know than to know and you're not even getting involved. Like, that's not your priority. Like trying to find out how to get Bitcoin through leverage is not a priority. I ain't saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing to anybody. However, if they come across, if anybody comes across these videos, that's something different. Because it's not me. They would have to concede that they saw an image. They saw an image of me sharing information. However, if you want to share the experience, you know the location. This is where I'm at. I wake up to this. People save up their whole lives for years just to come here for 4 days. People take time out 4 years out of their life to save up to come to here where I wake up for 4 days minimum. Minimum. Any family that's coming here that comes with a commercial jet, yeah, they save up. They come here like 5 years at a time, and it's the or if they're coming, they come every year. They come every year at the same time, and for the same amount of time, like a week, between 4 to 7 days. Cause it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. When it comes to surviving. But listen, with our platform, with BitHarvest, we don't have to worry about if it goes down or up. Because we're mining Bitcoin either way. Either way, we're getting Bitcoin. But watch this, when the price goes up, what I like about the BitHarvest and the mining, when the price goes up, we get more Satoshis. We get more Satoshis. We get more when the price goes up. And when the price starts to drop, when the price starts to fall, we get less Satoshis. So you gotta look at it like that, beloved. You gotta look at it like that. See, the more it goes up, the more Satoshis we get. And then everything, I'm telling you, then everything from before starts to increase in value. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. And that's all I gotta say. Because Bitcoin is about the energy. Bitcoin is about the energy. It's about being efficient. It's energy conversion at the end of the day. So if you're working, well, even if you're working for somebody else's dream, and you may be getting paid, okay, fine. How are you converting that energy so that it pays you back on the consistent level as much as you gave, if not more? See, that's what the first wave of Bitcoin has done with the millionaires and billionaires. The first wave of crypto millionaires, that's what it did. It changed people's lives where they don't even have to come back into crypto if they don't want to. They don't. They can, if they cashed out, even if they cashed out everything. Because you could go somewhere like Thailand and peace right out. Or Costa Rica. Which is what a lot of people are doing. And restarting life. Keep your eye out for Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's crypto island. After that hurricane, all the crypto people are rebuilding because the mayor made crypto tax-free. So that would be one of the places where I will go. I will go to Puerto Rico, if anything. They speak English. It's a U.S. state. It's already good for tax purposes. For U.S. dollar purposes. But now they have something that's pro-positive for Bitcoin or for people who are involved in crypto. They're saying, yes, come. Let's do this. because they understand, or the people that are operating Puerto Rico, they understand that that is an economy, that's energy, it's finance. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. It's all finance, ladies and gentlemen. And when we see governments trying to accumulate Bitcoin, this should be raising red flags amongst the whole crypto universe and those who know and understand primarily about Bitcoin. We need to protect Bitcoin at all costs, and we need to keep at least 90%. We need to keep at least 90% at all times, if not more, because we're not going to have 100%. But we need to try and keep 90% of the Bitcoin away out of government's hands. So the fact that we know about places like countries that are mining, that's why the mining is becoming a thing now. And they're going to come up with ways to try and mine out the rest, because the only entities that would be able to mine Bitcoin like effectively, officially, with all the power, are countries, because a country can just sanction a mining facility. They could create their own mining facility and put all the resources they need to generate their own mining farms to mine Bitcoin, to mine out the rest of Bitcoin. However, governments are not going to keep the Bitcoin, because they need to sell the Bitcoin to raise capital for funds for their public projects. So they would sell it to a company like, or whatever US company, to get the dollars. So they'll sell it to a company like Coinbase. And now Coinbase now has Bitcoin's allocated holdings itself, and then Coinbase can sell that to the market. You see what I'm saying? To raise capital. To raise capital, if they need to raise capital to pay their taxes. You see how they're creating or there could be created a money flow. And we know now that companies like Coinbase, they're not going to pay taxes, because everything is going to be like a write-off. You know how they do it. If they never claim their profits, they put everything back into the company. So they convert it into dollars, and then what Coinbase is going to do, they're just going to buy back their own stock. They're just going to increase the price of the stock. So Coinbase is not going to hold on. Coinbase is not going to hold on to the Bitcoin, because they have to remain in allegiance with the government and what the government wants. However, when it comes to the people, we need to try and hold on to 90% of the Bitcoin and spend the rest. Spend the rest. Hold on to as much Bitcoin as you can and keep it in the population. You got to keep it in the population of the decentralized, of the family, of the worldly unit. This is how we will keep our autonomy. This is how we will keep our security of borders. And also, we can protect history. Because like I said before, if you allow governments to centralize Bitcoin, they will be able to write history most effectively and cut out all the bad parts. They'll be able to cut out all the bad parts out of history if they're able to centralize Bitcoin through money printing because that'll be next. Because once they see that people catch on to not paying their taxes in Bitcoin, governments are just going to start buying Bitcoin. They're doing it now, but they're doing it in a way where it doesn't jump the market or spike the market. But they are doing it. They're doing it right now. Bless up, Liberation. So if countries are trying to acquire Bitcoin, why aren't you? And it's best to do it more easy is better than hard. I was well pleased with my mining rewards the other day. And I just took a look, and I'm extremely close. I'm extremely close to the 0.001. I think I'm gonna get there sooner than 4 years. The 0.001 is in sight with BitHarvest. It's real. It's real. So I just gotta hold on, and you're watching something. You're watching something wonderful in the making, because I'm talking about 4 years from now. I'm talking about 4 years from now. What up, Johnny Bass? Bless up. 4 years from now, you'll be able to refer back to this video of the cloud mining opportunity that is BitHarvest with the BitBooster technology. And like I said, those who signed up, they'll see it already. One transaction is gonna change and disrupt everybody's life around you. Because it's a given. Whether they like it or not, they will be affected. People will be affected by the fact that you have Satoshis. And you're able to do things or get things done that nobody even thought was possible. But for us, it will be a thing of ease. Because multiple systems are going to be connected to the Bitcoin network through its technology. So if I want to do something regarding business or pleasure, I would have the resources to be able to do it most efficiently and get it done, including payment. Oh, and did I mention that we'll be mining a second token as well, which will be the BitHarvest token? And that's already in the protocol, in the system. And that's 21 million as well. And it's going to behave just like Bitcoin. It's going to behave just like Bitcoin. When it gets to $1, it'll go onto the market. It's already at 30 cents. But when it goes to $1, it'll go to the market. It'll probably crash. But many of us will hold majority of it because it'll be mining. We're going to be mining it, not selling it. At least not yet. If we're talking the second Bitcoin. So if we're talking the second Bitcoin, that means in the next 10 years, the BitHarvest token is going to be something deadly. The BitHarvest token in the next 10 years would be an extremely sweet compliment to the fact that, well, mine is Satoshi's. But you know what would be even more beautiful? To the individual who is able to just span the BitHarvest token, to be able to live their life off the BitHarvest token, period, because they got involved from early. And so when it's time to span, right? So when it's time to span, we're spending the BitHarvest token anyway. Because like I said 4 years, right? So after 4 years, I'll be spending the BitHarvest token. I'm not even touching the Satoshis. Which means that eventually, if you just leave it, eventually you will get 1 Bitcoin. Because it's just going to keep running up, running up, running up. And remember, the more it goes up, the more Satoshis you get. The more Satoshis we get as it increases in price, the more Satoshis come our way. You see how it works? See how it works? Boom. So let it be how it is for however long it's got to be, because when it gets to where we know it's going to end up, it's game over. It's game over. And see, this is not a beginner's course. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, this is not for you. Later. This is a secret class. Yeah, you already gotta know. So bless up to those who know. Live life, love, and learn. Keep striving. And you know we'll always be thriving. Hold the fort, stick to the wicked, and the runs will come. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bless up. Stay cryptic.